Breaks.
Got it.
Mahogany.
Yeah.
And Jeff.
Yep.
Terrence.
Had it.
And I'm Toker, and you can join me afterwards for a deep dive into Creed to see what hidden meanings that bro music has in its lyrics. No, I won't do that.
I don't blame you, because it would be a real short conversation.
I mean, they've got a
Like
pretty
when I
big
s-
discography.
Yeah, but it's like, do they have any hidden meaning?
No.
Yeah, it's like when I said with arms wide open, what I really meant was with arms only
my
like
arms.
3/4 of the way.
Right.
Yeah. Not welcoming everybody, just welcoming everybody that thinks like me, looks like me, and acts like me.
Okay.
All right.
You said you were ready.
I'm sorry. You know, things turn out differently than you imagine them in life. And
Yeah, ain't that the
sometimes
fucking
you
truth.
think you're ready, and sometimes you're not. And I wasn't ready, but I'm here anyway. So welcome once again to Mutants and to Homebrew Detritus presents
Nope.
Raiders of
Nope.
wait, no.
Raiders of the Lark presents.
Yeah. Raiders of the Lark presents Mutants and Masterminds 3rd edition game called Earth's Most Available Heroes, issue number 3,
Hey.
Dark Web.
A Mutants and Mastermind story.
I already covered the Mutants and Masterminds part.
Yeah, but you did it before. It's supposed to be after.
You know,
I did
That
it
is not-
fine last time. It was only a little stuttery.
this is not written in stone. This is not like this is not part of the game constitution that the name has to be said in a certain order. I'm tired of you harassing me about it.
Look, I'm going through enough shit right now. I got to find something to bring joy to my life.
When the children of 2024 meander into those Winn-Dixies and look for those comic books on the shelf, they still do that, right? Oh no, they stopped doing that 30 years ago. My bad.
That's where I used to go get comics.
That's where I used to get comics from too. But I saw some video that was like, if you bought comic books in the grocery store, you're old now.
Actually, I bought them from the Revco next to the grocery store.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, the Revco did have comics. I remember that.
I used to ride my bike to the Revco to go just browse their comics, never buy any because I had
No money.
2 dimes for using the payphone.
Your security blanket, these 2 dimes in case you need to use a payphone somewhere.
Not in case. When?
Yeah, I was during the summers at a certain age, my dad sold peaches on a street corner in Georgia. And I would go with him, which meant that I sat on a street corner all weekend from sun up to sundown before we drove all the way back to our hometown. So, and some of his stops would be to sell peaches at certain grocery stores, and that's where I would get my comic books. I never got an issues back to back. It was always just some random numbered issue of whatever comic book looked cool. Because that's how it was back then. The real nerds would be there early when the comic book showed up, and they would get the nice ones, and then I got to filter through the garbage.
The
Oh, you
real.
mean after the other dumb kids come through and like bent them all the way down?
Oh God, yeah, and anything like when up like what was the mid '90s when PlayStation came out with PlayStation Magazine, and it was in a sealed case because there would be a DVD or a game disc in there, but you had to make sure that nobody had ripped it open and stolen the demo disc out of it.
No, I'll tell you, the spoiled nerds like me would get a catalog from a comic shop, and we could circle. I want this comic, and this comic. Give it to our parents, who were like, yes, you're our youngest child. We will buy you comic books. And then they would order those for me.
Mm.
And you only didn't get the ones that you didn't want if they were on back order.
I think the best year I ever got out of my parents comics wise when they got me subscriptions to 4 Marvel comics at once. Like I had Spider-Man. I had Amazing Spider-Man, X-Force, and X-Men.
Nice.
You got a full subscription? Nice.
Yeah, it was the cheapest package. Like the more you got, the cheaper. the subs got. So
That's how it was with the catalog, but it was you would buy individual issues.
man, I wish Marvel still did subscriptions. Anyway,
They do. It's an app now. You read them on your phone.
I don't want to read them on my phone. I want to read them on the toilet.
You can do that on your phone.
Yeah.
But you
I
wanna
need
turn the
trees to
pages.
die.
Yeah.
I need Brazil to be completely deforested.
These comics aren't made of teak; they're made of pine. This is all coming from the South.
I was gonna say, like, right down the street, dog.
Mhm.
Or Jersey.
Nah, there'd be more Jersey Devil blood in it.
Who
Who is a real creature? I'm convinced.
That's what today's episode is about.
No, today's episode is about other things. So
Oh.
I guess we should probably get started. We join our heroes a little bit later. And by a little bit later, I mean a couple of days. We come in to the meeting room where the COJ ops team comms guy, Duncan Hoyt, has been working with Defrag for a couple of days. Excuse me. Once you got back a little bit of information on like the real identity of the villain that you fought a couple days ago, the agitator, he called himself. You found out that he was a sort of a 19-year-old college dropout named Biff. Biff Faraday. Now, generally, what happens is with the Crusaders of Justice, once they apprehend a person, and turn them over to the proper authorities, things they usually let them process according to like the local laws of the area they're doing it in. In this case, since he was trying to do a bank robbery, it's a federal crime. Now, Defrag, as soon as you got back and once you talked over Biff about like looking into the stuff he said about seeing Cyber Squatch's file online, he's like, if we want to like get in on finding what this guy knew and where he found it, we need to strike pretty quick before the feds yank his computer. And so once the name had been, actually even before the name had been released, had been logged into the police computer systems, Duncan says, here's the thing. I need you to go, if you can you go and get some information on like his home address, that sort of thing?
Mean online? Absolutely.
All right. He tells you basically the like where the police have taken the guy and where they're put him in custody and things like that, and like where they've basically typed in the information they've gotten on him. And it's not that hard for you in particular to just sort of log in. Here's the question. Oh my gosh, I haven't hit OK about being recorded. Sorry, I don't know if that's gonna cause a problem.
I suppose we'll find out.
Yeah.
Hey, welcome to the show, everybody.
Possibly welcome to the show. Just try to get what's going on from context clues. Duncan asked you to do what you do. He says he knows you're a computer specialist. How do you acquire information? Like, of course, there's the usual kind of like IRL sitting in your chair kind of hacking, but do you do anything particular special?
I can, but I prefer like if he's got a computer system hooked up right there, I will break into it and do it right there in front of us with him watching. And
right.
Just FYI, I'm using a special ability called Overclocked, which gives me hyperspeed, quickness 15, which I can do so it makes my actions faster.
Okay. All right. Well, Duncan steps aside and lets you hit the keyboard and start working. Give me a technology check.
All right. And I will comment that while I'm doing this, I need whoever's going to be whoever's in the kitchen to please fix me a plate of food, enough food for 8 people.
Okay.
And you notice that I am moving at hyper speeds. So like kind of think the Flash, but it's like I'm typing that fast.
Okay. What'd you get?
Let's roll. Rolled a 19, so plus 20, 39.
All right.
Okay.
Damn.
It is Jeff.
Despite your incredibly impressive roll, you find yourself at a sort of a deeper kind of web mystery. Like once you get his address and you begin checking out this guy, and this guy has once you're able to find out his home address, this guy's got like very very sloppy OPSEC. You know, he's clearly an engineer, not really a computer guy, but you do find that he has been logging in and surfing various dark web kind of organizations. Like, you know, most dark web stuff is very informal and incredibly secretive. So you're up against something a little bit harder than you would be normally used to on your general investigations. But let's zoom ahead a little bit. In the next couple days, what are the rest of you guys doing? I know Cosmic Knight was having a bit of an emotional problem, an emotional breakdown at the end of the first mission. But we'll come to him in just a sec. Cyber Squatch, you've got a couple days off, according to Duncan and Defrag, while they do some investigation.
I'll spend some time in the woods, just trying to collect myself, and knowing that this kid had links to the Immortal Axis has kind of shaken me a bit. Hearing that they may still be active, or, you know, their presence is still, their influence is still out there happening. It's got me just doing a little soul searching out in the woods.
All right.
Spotted with some maintenance on my equipment.
Okay. While you're out there, you occasionally run across the groundskeeper, like taking the horses out, checking them over, but you almost have like a sort of a dangerous run-in. Like once they get close to you, they start reacting badly. Like the horses seem to be incredibly unnerved by your presence, which is something very unusual for you. Mm-hmm. Like you're used to animals not basically either ignoring you or coming up to you, and like you find yourself being rejected by members of the natural world. Like even the normal kind of things you're used to, where you would hear bird song and squirrels going about their usual mating rituals and daily hunts, diminish instead of increase with your presence.
Yep. I'm no longer a part of the natural world. I understand that, and it still hurts to a degree, but I am what I am.
Bubblegum, what are you doing with the next couple days?
Just putting together some fire outfits, basically.
Okay. All right.
I'm gonna be thrifting and meditating and helping out where I can.
A little fashion therapy.
Mm-hmm.
All right. During your shopping trips, you get a lot of texts from friends back at the university. Most of them are letting you know that she's at it again. Like once they saw you on TV. One girl. Yeah. Once she saw you on TV, she just started like going off, and basically she's basically just trying to backbite you and trash your name while you're obviously out of town. And she's also talking about some sort of secret project, but who knows? She might be just lying like usual.
One girl.
That one fucking girl.
Yeah, I can't even focus on that right now. I just gotta do me. Do it harder, better, right. Faster.
Okay. Back to you, Cosmic Knight. Cosmic Knight, you've had a couple days since the first mission. How have you been like taking it all?
He was confused and sad the first day, and then when he slept on it, and he watched Dragonheart again to re-inspire himself.
Okay.
The next day he decided he's not like untrained with fighting hand to hand, but he's decided to put the sword on the back burner to help stop, because he doesn't want to kill people if that's not what they want, and he wants to fit in with this party.
All right.
So does this place have like a danger room, or?
They tell you that you can train on anywhere on the ground you like, but they don't necessarily have, unfortunately, like the big main base of the Crusaders Justice back in Colorado had all kinds of really amazing training facilities before those aliens blew it up. This place was up until recently a museum. So it's got some nice grounds. It's a lovely place to vacation. So if you don't mind like stepping out on the tennis court and doing a little bit of training there, they'll see what they can set up.
He goes with the Rocky movie. He does not a big fan of Rocky movie, but he watches just the montage from Rocky. He watches the montage from the Karate Kid. He watches any Steven Seagal or Jean-Claude Van Damme movie. He watches
Bloodsport, obviously.
Bloodsport, just the montages,
just the montage,
and he mimics their fighting style.
You have some okay luck mimicking the fighting styles of everybody except for the Bloodsport montage, because he's blindfolded in one of those. So
I relate more to the goofy sidekick anyway. The big American
that guy
guy
rules actually.
Yeah.
Before Jean-Claude gosh darn took over the series.
Well,
Daniel Bernhardt, fake Van Damme.
Yeah, I like fake Van Damme.
He's not bad, honestly. Like I know he's in an episode of MST. What was it, the Future War? But
no shit.
Yeah, that's the fake Van Damme guy.
Call him gosh darn. That's pretty funny.
No, I didn't write that joke. That's a straight up MST joke.
Still, it's pretty good.
It was pretty good.
But during the course of your training, your training, watching the montages, mimicking what you can see, you hear a knock at your door, a very low knock. And by low, I mean not like deep, but like on the door, low.
I'm low on the door. Okay.
Yeah.
To be respectful, when I walk up to the door, I crouch before opening it, so I'm more.
All right, you crouch to open it, and you start to look down, and you see Adam the cat at your door. He's like, "Hey, kid, you all right? You been up here a couple days?"
Yeah, I'm getting there. No killing.
Yeah, no problem. I get you. You wanna come do maneuvers with me? A little bit of training.
Looking at the cat, then looking at himself, looking at the cat. Sure.
Great. I don't know if you suit. we're gonna fly. So if you need your suit for that, put it on.
I immediately, because this whole time I've been naked, I'll go put my suit on.
Yeah. He takes to the air once you get outside. He's like, "All right, let's run this special maneuver I like to do. This is the hardcore training that I think everyone needs when they join a superhero team." And he begins to fly off toward the east. He's like, "Catch me if you can."
I'll attempt to keep up.
All right. You can keep up with it pretty easy. Like he cannot fly as fast as you. Like he is not kidding when he says he was pretty close to retirement age, like before all this happened. So, he's basically flying fairly casually, quickly, but casually. And then he dips down rather rapidly towards a nearby town, the town closest to the mansion, actually, Blackberry Holler. He lands on the streets. And while he's standing upright for a minute while he's waiting for you to get there, and once you land beside him, he's like, "All right, our training exercise." He points to the building next to him, which you see a sign over the front top that says, "The Dirty Diamond, 12-ounce curls. Come on, kid."
Oh, okay.
Right. And he takes you into the local dive bar, and when the door opens, you get the usual effect one gets when one walks into a kind of a local shit kicker bar wearing full plate armor with a flying cat next to you.
It wasn't until he walked through the door Then he realized it's not a gym, it's a bar, and that's a joke. He was ready to go lift weights with his cat. 12 ounce. Oh.
Come on, sit at the bar. He flies over to the bar, and you see the crowd kind of like calms down a little bit because they recognize the cat. And he stands on one of the bar stools and he leans against the bar. He's like, "Hey, set me and my friend up here." One of the local guys comes up and says, "Well, hey there, Mr. Cat. Adam, please call me Adam." "Sure thing, Mr. Cat. This still on the Crusaders tab?" "Oh yeah, you know it. This is my fitness expert, Jimmy Clem."
I'll take the helmet off and in a strange accent go, "Build quest for it. Just call me Cosmic Knight."
"Sure thing, Cosmo." And he sets up a couple of beers. He says, "These will start you out for now. I got to do something in the back." "No problem." Adam turns to you as he after taking a big swig of his beer and says, "Listen, I know you had a rough first day. I know you've been up there like sweating, training. Like we can all hear you. You're moving quite a bit. And just want you to know, man, you're part of a team here. I'm not trying to chase you off. I picked you. Like they gave me some candidates. Like I know you got potential. I just want you to know, we're all on the same side here."
The whole time the Adam's talking to him, he's just staring at the beer and he's taking little sips, but he keeps staring at the beer.
Okay.
You might get the sense that he's not, you think he's not listening, but then he just turns around in mid-sentence. He goes, "I think you're the first person to buy me a beer."
Well, I got bad news for you. I'm not the one buying this beer. The Crusaders of Justice. He slaps you on the arm with his paw. He's like, "Come on, let's talk a bit. Tell me about your life." And we'll fade out there for a moment, and we go back to the mansion. It's been a couple of days. Defrag, you've been searching high and low, and eventually you find nothing saved on the computers, which much like Duncan said, like quickly went offline. Like you lost access to anything that was connected to the web pretty rapidly from Biff Faraday's computers as the feds raided his house, took everything.
I got something else I would actually do.
Okay.
I will go to his, I will break into the, whoever his network goes through his, so like for us, it'd be Palmetto Rural.
Yeah.
And look through the routers to find out from his IP address what where he was like going to what sites he was looking at. That's the kind of stuff I will research and look into.
Okay. You quickly say that information. Been going through that information for a couple of days. Like this guy's all over the place, and he's been like ordering parts, usually on stolen credit cards. Like this guy could had while he was mostly into engineering, he had enough like computer acumen to be probably a professional ID thief without any problem. But you begin checking over his records and seeing where all the places go, and finally you find a forum that leads through various links about 3 other forums. Like it's like a weird link trail that you have to follow once you get there. And you see he's been clicking on all these links, and finally you get to a place that simply has the name WEH8. We hate. And it seems to be just a chat room for the most part, but with a lot of security around it. And it also seems to have a confusing kind of login process. It has like 10 or 12 questions it asks you, and you're a clever guy. You can figure out that these are all questions where the answer doesn't matter so much as the series of letters and numbers you put into it. So give me, let's see, what's a good name? What's a good skill check for code breaking here?
Investigation.
Yeah, I'd say that. Let's go with investigation. Give me an investigation roll.
All right.
I just beard myself. That's terrible. Oh, it's so cold.
I have a 33.
33? All right. You quickly move through their series of questions, and get through in 10 instead of the 10 to 12, which it was advertised. Then it says, choose your username. And it doesn't give you a list. It just gives you a line. What username are you choosing?
I'll come up with, let's see. I'm trying to think of a good psychotic name. Brilliant, but psychotic. Anybody got any suggestions?
Moriarty comes to mind. Something along those lines.
Rick and Moriarty.
Rick and Moriarty.
Actually, I'm fine with that.
Okay, that's your username, Rick and Moriarty.
Yeah, I'll like Rick's first name, Moriarty last name.
Okay. All right, you type in your name and you are put in, and you realize that it quickly asks for your. It basically asks you for a brief setup question about which mic you're using. It's not a text chat; it's a voice chat.
Okay. Well, I will. First of all, I will kind of wink to the guy that's helping me.
Okay. Duncan at the comms.
Duncan, and then go. I'll make sure since the mic's not on. I will send a message through the our little network thing. Go and say, make sure our security's tight. Make sure we are routed through various systems. I'm concerned that we might get back hacked.
He nods and says, he nods and like indicates that he's got like a kill switch at the ready. Like he points to it, like it is a literal switch right there by his fucking console.
Then I will go ahead and give a facsimile version of the mic that we're using.
All right. I expect you to do the Rick voice during this session.
I don't even know what that would be like.
Jeff, run to your kitchen real quick and just down all the alcohol you own, then come back and talk to us.
Yeah, and never swallow anything. You just gotta like just have a massive amount of phlegm at the back of your throat.
Okay.
I mean, he's not wrong.
You log in, and at first it's quiet, and like you finally hear somebody. A younger voice goes, "Who the fuck is this?" A light lights up, letting you know it's somebody called Bait and Snitch.
I don't even know what to say. Just my character's smarter, and I will use investigation skills to figure out what I should be asking about and try to do it in a non schemy voice.
All right. At first you don't say anything, and another one pops in and says, "Oh, we got a lurker." Fuck.
Let me ask this real quick. So, getting a feel from what the group's name was, what do I get a feel that is about?
All right, the interface you are faced with, like there is like a number of names that light up whenever they speak, but also you see that there is a screen interface where they mostly just post images. Sometimes they will post like words, but it's mostly images. And as you quickly scroll up, you can see it's mostly like really like mean memes about the dead superheroes from the invasion. Like this whole chat seems to be really obsessed with superheroes, but not in a positive way. Like some of it is racist, some of it is anti-Semitic, some of it is like just the most disgusting kind of shit you can imagine. Like they're anti-gay, they're anti-trans, they're anti everybody that ain't white, they're anti-leftist. they're anti everything, but they're mostly anti-superhero. Like they seem to be even making up reasons of dislike heroes.
I will try to so I go through their logs, basically their view logs, and basically what they're showing on there. And I get the impression that these are, I guess this would be more along the lines of just people trying to make themselves look big, but not anyone that's actually got any serious threats.
You can certainly surmise that. Like you see that like just from like the memes here are both crude and cringe, but once they start ignoring your presence, you're like, they assume you got here because you wanted to be here. You got here because you deserve to be here. And they begin to go back to talking amongst each other. And you see names like the aforementioned Bait and Snitch, one called Western Requiem, Zero-0, Ink Stain, Cape Ripper, Black Ice Hole. And they're mostly talking about each other. And then finally, one of them called Dumb Bunny says, "Hey, did you see what Brass Balls did?" And then they all laughed, and they begin immediately posting images of the agitator from like screenshots from the news of him being led away. He's like, that dumb motherfucker actually did it. I thought he was fucking full of shit. And they begin ragging on him pretty hard for one looking like a quote unquote cuck, and two, failing at his first big heist. Like, what kind of idiot starts out in a major fucking city? You know, heroes are looking out for that stupid shit. And one of them says, "Hey, new guy," this one being Inkstain. I don't suppose you're Brass Balls alt, are you? And then all of them start laughing. "Are you a sock?" says one of them. "Fucking sock." So what do you do, Defrag?
Is there any kind of text interface?
Yes, there is text interface. You can.
So I will use old school commands. So it's like old school. So it's like, they're using voice, and I will go all digital. So it'll be like a text interface, and I will do like wink smiley face.
All right. And you get the impression like at least 3/4 of the voices you're hearing on this voice chat are not real voices. Like, one of them sounds like Darth Vader. One of them sounds like Indiana Jones. One of them sounds like your bland British AI voice chat kind of guy. These are not real voices, but they seem to know each other well enough. The thing through the chat and their usernames. Like, you're in basically a budding supervillain secret chat, essentially. One of them, called Edgelord, says speaks up and says, I got my first heist all stitched up. And the other one's like, bullshit, Pixar didn't happen, kind of thing. And it takes a minute, but you see an image of a news, or rather a news site link that says 6 dead at Arizona campground. And a couple of them still say, "That's not you. Fuck you. That's bullshit. You did not do that." He's like, "While you were fucking posting memes, I studied the blade." And then you start to see like actual like cell phone photos begin to pop up of the various victims in the same locations. And then the chat kind of goes quiet, and then they start whistling appreciatively like, "Holy shit, yeah, man." And then finally one of them says, "Who is it?" He's like, family members of one of the newly recruited heroes for the West Coast Crusaders of Justice. They're never gonna catch me. Never.
We will make sure we get links to the same stuff and get copies made offline.
All right, yeah. Duncan begins to grab everything he can. It looks like he's been just like scrolling up and like fucking trying to get as much of the chat log as he can, even though it's mostly done via voice. And then one of them says, "We got any drops coming? I came here for the drops. You guys been doing drops every fucking week." Western Requiem speaks up in a very robotic sounding voice filter. "The drops are on their way. You've got to wait. They take decoding. This isn't our stuff. We nabbed it." And he's like, "Don't worry. Don't." The robotic voice says, kind of sarcastically, "Don't tell me you've read all the previous stuff. It's so much." And then the link is reposted. This is like essentially like a secret Dropbox link. Don't fucking lie to me. I think you're fucking functionally illiterate anyway. I've never seen you post more than a picture in the chat at all. And then you see a strange like while you're looking at the computer and listening to chat, you see like the screen in front of you take on a strange like hue, like your screen is failing you, like it's got like sort of that I'm about to die kind of shit going on.
Disconnect.
And then finally one of them stands up, one of them called Dumb Bunny says, "Hey, I think we got an infiltrator. I'm done with this guy. He hasn't said much. He's posted some bullshit. He's out of here. Goodbye. Goodbye, Rick and Moriarty. Come back when you're a real fucking player." And you get kicked. The last thing you see on your screen is a number of before your band hammer comes down, a number of strange, I guess, sigils, like strange arcane / technical schematic sigils. And you quickly realize that one of these guys has some technomancy under his belt, probably the mod. Duncan takes off his headset after you get kicked, and he basically shuts the internet down just in case for a while. At the mansion, he's like, "You think we were traced?"
I'm sure they've got some ideas, but I mean, I jumped so many various routes through various servers and stuff. So, I mean, can they track us? Absolutely, at least to a certain point. But I did not leave anything obvious behind.
That's good. I think we got some kind of interesting stuff we can pursue if you want. I mean, we could turn it over to the main IT group back in Colorado, but I don't know. Be kind of a big coup if we can track down. He points to the images that he caught. He's like, we got a fucking serial killer in this chat.
Yeah, and obviously they have access to. They know the back. So let me do this real quick. Looking at the family there, can I figure out who the family is, and then try to see if I can do a trace on the internet to find out how they were maybe related to some kind of superhero, and not using any of the resources from the camp, but maybe just internet resources.
All right. After about Duncan switches you back on as far as like the routers, and tells you it's all up to you. Go ahead. And once you begin searching, you find that given the access you have to the Crusaders of Justice database, you find out that the family that had been killed connects back to a still living hero, a member of the Crusader Justice called Silver Streak, a speedster.
Well, then I will suggest that we take this information and pass it on to the rest of the group. Let Adam Cat know what's going on, and apparently we have someone that's going after superhero families.
All right. Cyber Squatch, Bubblegum.
Mm-hmm.
Over the course of the night, you guys, or the day, or the late evening, and the night, depending on how long you waited to respond to them, you keep getting messages from Adam on your communications. He's like, "Oh my God, we got an emergency. Come to Blackberry Holler ASAP."
I would say this is when I'm actually in the maintenance bay.
All right.
Getting my equipment worked on, and finished wrapping it up. Check the mobility of the fingers, the digits.
Okay.
I will be right there.
He says, "Just follow my tracking signal on the text." How about you, Bubblegum? You get these kind of frantic texts from Adam.
Bubblegum will just hold the text down to like it and then head that way.
Okay. You guys follow the trackers you get from Adam to Blackberry Holler, and you see all the local sites as you're going to town. Like, I don't know, do either of you fly?
Yes.
I leave.
All right. You pass the number of the local fixtures, Big Earl's Stop and Save, the old post office cafe, Parsons Hardware, Sadie's Glad Rags, and finally the stop leads you in front of the local tavern, the Dirty Diamond Saloon.
Go in.
All right. When you go in, Cyber Squatch, you see the whole crowd like in the saloon, like some of them like literally gasp. Like one dude, probably in his 50s, a big burly lumberjack looking guy, faints upon seeing you. And then Adam flies out to the center room. Hey, Cyber, come in. How have you been like hanging with Adam since you got here? Cosmic Knights? The drinks have been flowing pretty freely if you continue to drink them.
I think he does, because he's desperate to fit in, and he's gonna try and hang as long as Adam Cat's drinking. He's gonna keep drinking.
Oh boy.
Yeah. So he's probably a little out of his depths here.
Okay.
And a little stumbly. And he keeps getting his movie references wrong, which makes him angry. Then he laughs at how angry he is about how nerdy his things are.
Actually, you've gotten you've actually drawn a bit of a crowd, because a lot of the people here hanging out in town, there aren't a lot of young people here in Blackberry Holler, so most of the people actually get your references. There are people in their like 50s just hanging out at this local dive bar. It's like, oh man, I fucking love that dragon movie, man. That fucking rules.
Right. It's like peak, right? But if we're going to different genres, right? Let's talk. There's like Critters.
Critters with the fucking like big stapler in the titty alien. Oh man.
I want to see you fly. No, wait, that's Tremors. God damn it.
Fucking Kevin Bacon, man. Anyway,
Bacon sounds good.
Do you actually know the actors in any of these movies? What did you like?
As much as me, the real person, knows the names of these people.
Okay. So yeah, no. Cyber Squatch, you show up to what appears to be a hootenanny.
I will first approach the lumberjack who fainted, and I will check on his condition to make sure that he is not unwell, because I am a hero first.
All right. As you lean down and begin checking the guy, you feel a soft landing on your back, and it's Adam over your shoulder. He's like, everybody, don't freak out. This is a real Bigfoot, and he's half robot, which makes him like a superhero somehow, and that's great, man. Like the people in the bar begin, oh, okay, they've already got a talking cat and a weird knight with a blue skin at the bar, and they're like just kind of like rolling with it now. Bubblegum, you show up shortly thereafter, and you find your teammates essentially, or at least two of them,
shithoused,
delving into the local color. He's like, Bubblegum turns around at Adam, and as he flies over to you, he's like, hey, sweetheart, darling, no, that is sexist, and I don't do that anymore, because this is not the 60s.
Was that a for real Achu?
No, that was a in-game
Achu. Okay. Shit, I'm sorry. I should have had the guy brush me. I'm so dumb.
Remember I told you about that food? We're gonna get you switched over to that one food, right?
Sure. What is it? Yeah.
With the eggs.
Diet or something.
Yeah. Something. I'll know when I stop. I'll know when I stop sneezing.
Sure. Man, I'm gonna have to take more baths. Fucking hate baths.
That makes me wonder, are you allergic to Cyber Squatch as well?
Are you actually furry?
Yeah.
Or are you hairy?
Ooh, that's a good question. Okay, I'll say that I'm hypoallergenic.
All right.
I'm like poodle fur. But I help the lumberjack to his feet and introduce myself and say, I apologize if my appearance has rendered your brain partially unable to function for a second. Please have a seat. I'll get you some water.
The guy's like, holy shit, I've seen you before, man. He reaches up and touches the fleshy part of your body. He's like, I've seen you before.
I was on the news recently.
No, man.
Let me get you some water.
Sure.
Bubblegum realizes that she needs to catch up. So she's gonna real quick go the juice and use her water powers to bring some alcohol this way.
Okay. All right. It's not too long before Bubblegum begins catching up with Cosmic Knight and Adam the Cat. Though Adam the Cat, you see that occasionally, like you'll see him like weaving through the air for a moment, and then he'll straighten up, and his eyes will open, and he'll just turn around and go back to the bar, as if he is just sobered up spontaneously.
Now that I'm drunk, I want to see if I can fly with him on my back as a paper airplane. I'm trying to convince him, come on, hop on, it'll be fun.
I do like fun. Fun is fun, so I've heard. The bar takes on a more raucous approach. You are offered drinks, Cyber Squatch. Do you take them?
I do not. I don't drink. I will instead be the group dad,
Okay.
watching over them to make sure that nobody gets hurt.
All right.
Nobody gets nobody gets into a fight or anything. I'm the peacekeeper.
All right.
Wasn't there some sort of emergency? What the hell are we even doing here? Not that I'm complaining, but what?
The emergency, says Adam, is look at your friend here, your teammate. I think we needed a team building meeting. I think we needed a team building exercise.
Are we gonna do trust falls? Because I want to do trust falls.
No, we're doing trust shots.
Yes, and then trust falls. I can
Sure.
fly.
I'm invulnerable to many things, so trust falls don't scare me.
If this is a team building exercise, where is our fourth team member?
That is a good question. Defrag, you shortly after getting kicked from this stuff and talking over the serious matter of finding a serial killer, you get a message from Adam the Cat that says, "Hey, we got a team building exercise here in Blackberry Holler that needs your attention quickly." And you also see it come to Duncan, and Duncan's like, "Oh God, he's at the local dive again."
And what does that mean?
It means he's out drinking, and I think you might have roped the rest of your team members into it.
Not to have anything against drinking, but isn't that not as important as what we're doing right now?
Well, what we're doing right now is what we were doing. Adam has a very kind of holistic approach to who's doing what. I've only worked with him for a little while, but like, if you tell him you have something important to do, he'll let you get on with it. And he doesn't really worry much over it. He's more worried with how people are feeling. He was chosen to be the leader here for his people skills, not his organizational skills, which is something I'd never thought I'd say about a house cat. Let me text him back. Duncan begins texting. Can't right now, Chief.
Actually, I'll teleport over there real quick.
Okay.
Since I know where it's at, I'll teleport right to him. Because how many miles away is it?
It is literally 3 miles.
Oh, yeah, easily. I'll teleport. I won't even open a portal. I'll just do the teleportation, personal teleportation.
All right.
I will teleport where I kind of like I'm walking out of the bathroom.
Okay. which utterly terrifies the guy in there taking a piss. But yeah, you step out of the bathroom.
That guy's me.
Where do you pee from? Your eyes?
No, it just flows out from a nether region. I'm smooth like a Ken doll, but all the stuff that's supposed to work
cloaca.
Hidden cloaca. Yes, I like that the better word.
A flap opens up and exposes your cloaca.
Squatted over the urinal the wrong way.
Backed up to it.
Lift my cape up.
You scare Cosmic Knight and see him in a very compromising position before you step into the Dirty Diamond Saloon. The Dirty Diamond Saloon, this place used to be a coal mining town, so basically the Dirty Diamond in question is a massive lump of coal they have mounted behind the bar. And when you step out, like a lot of people are drunk, and the party has like really ramped up. Like the music has changed to more modern stuff. Like the normal like country and western music that you would normally find going on here has been switched to modern pop and dance. And you see Bubblegum and Adam trying to cut a rug, though he's flying, and she's an airplane. And you basically see a lot of people like just fucking fascinated by Cyber Squatch, like people that have grown up all their lives hearing about Sasquatch stories, asking him the most ridiculous questions.
I'll answer them to the best of my abilities.
Okay. And finally someone asked the question, so he's like, so what happened to you, man? Why'd you get all roboted up?
If anyone can read facial expressions, they see pain, despair, and
Okay.
just sorrow across his face. He says, it's a long story.
The waitress who's been like serving you Cyber Squatch, like with, water, she offers you some tea if you want it. She says, why don't we sit down? And she takes you away. Her name's Lurleen. She's and you get the weird impression that Lurleen's kind of into you.
That's unfortunate for her.
Franks, this is a role playing game. You can go for it.
There's no parts.
Oh, you're like me.
Yeah, my bottom half is basically robotic.
We can build them.
No, actually, no. That's right. It's just my legs. So yeah, there's parts. Never mind.
Okay.
They're just completely covered by hair.
Then you look around, at the rest of the bar, and you realize that you don't actually like, other than your physical like underneath build, if you're wearing a flannel fucking shirt, you look a lot like these fucking Appalachia guys, only like maybe 1.5 foot taller than them.
Slightly more simian features.
Yeah, but maybe only slightly in some cases.
Bubblegum has decided that she needs to give Cosmic Knight a makeover. And yeah, she's making that her mission now. And you see Cosmic Light looking like most other people look when he's talking. Like, oh God, will you please leave me alone? Or are you into it?
Again, his need to be accepted will probably have him say yes to anything this night. Plus, he's trying.
Prepare for the smoky eye.
Sweet. Pull
Terrence,
out my
get on the artwork.
portable makeup.
Cosmic Knight and drag.
I turn around and disappear back to the mansion.
All right, you get back to the mansion, and Duncan finishes sending his text. He's like, "Hey, where'd you go?"
Yeah, you're right. They're getting wasted.
Well, what do you want to do?
Gather as much information as we possibly can without being a truth. So, have we heard anything about? Does the hero, West Coast hero, know that his family's been killed?
Like, the stuff that this guy was reporting on was stuff that was like literally in local news and quickly turns to national news over the course of hours while you guys are doing your research and compiling like your notes on your particular deep delve. And so like the family of 6 brutally massacred like quickly becomes a national story, at least as far as tonight goes. You know how the news cycle goes, but yeah, like an unsolved brutal crime at a Nevada national park enters the news cycle, and it quickly comes across the comms for the Crusaders of Justice that to keep Silver Streak in your thoughts, as he has lost family members recently. And you also see a number of like alerts, basically like looking for any kinds of information you can get on what may have happened and that sort of thing. Like over the course of like 3-4 hours, both America is notified and the Crusaders of Justice, including Silver Streak, have been notified and sent out the feelers across their network.
So I will suggest we package up a little bit of information that we should and about like the pictures, and maybe they can get some from the some of the pictures we got from the website,
All right.
from like the phone pictures that the guy
Yeah.
took phone pictures. So I'm hoping that they might be able to take some of that information and be able to get some correlate some information from that, because that supposedly came from the guy that did the murder. Now, also there was a link to download information.
Yeah, they were talking about some mysterious drops, and when Duncan grabbed the link and began following it back, you saw his face turn white for a minute before he started focusing more on the murders. But when you bring it back up, you see his like his demeanor drop again, and he's like, "This is bad, honestly. Like, I think this is really bad." And he shows you the file drop site and as many files as he could download before. He's like, apparently the damn thing cycles around. Like, once it's dropped, you have 10 minutes to get what you're looking for.
Right.
I tried to get as much as I can, but it's such a big file. And he basically says, and he brings up the file for Cyber Squatch. And you see that it is a breakdown of Cyber Squatch's known history. A breakdown of Cyber Squatch's technology, including the parts that are unidentified. And you realize that this is not an Immortal Alliance file. This is a Crusaders of Justice file.
Okay. So knowing that, then I go, it's time to look through where are these files kept?
They were kept on, let's see, hold on. They were normally kept on Wondermind 6000. Wondermind 6000 got blown up with the base. So that means these files had to be nabbed off of Wondermind before the aliens struck.
What is Wondermind? Wondermind. What is that?
Well, let's fast forward a bit. The next day, you guys are back at the base. You guys are back at the conference table in the library. Cyber Squatch, well rested and bright-eyed, says, "Wondermind, what's that?" Well, the rest of the crew, little hungover,
Still in makeup.
still in makeup.
Bubblegum is fine. She's 21 years old. She's fine.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Yes.
You're fucking you're bulletproof at 21 when it comes to booze.
Basically.
I do remember that.
Mhm.
But yes, Cyber Squatch says, "Wondermind, what's that?" And Adam the cat, who is also fine, lights another cigarette after stubbing out the previous one. He's like, "Oh man, I went through a lot of stuff last night." Wondermind was one of the computers built by Dr. Wondermind. He slides one of his cigarette packs across the table, and you see an image on the packaged cigarette like you've never seen before. This brand, it says Dr. Wondy's radium filter cigarettes. He's like, Dr. Wondermind's one of our best and brightest as far as, you know, the whole head brain wear goes. Unfortunately, he was lost in the thing. And he had previously built 2 supercomputers to help operate the the Crusaders of Justice. Wondermind 5000, which was decommissioned and then later recommissioned after Wondermind 6000 was destroyed by aliens. Currently, Wondermind 5000, he points to Duncan. Duncan says, is currently running the entire ops department. Wondermind 6000 did that and much, much more. It had all the hero files. It had basically all our contacts. It had everything. It did everything. It was a literal supercomputer.
Ah, okay. So that sounds like someone has gotten into the Wondermind files.
Someone got to them, ripped them out, and then Wondermind 6000 got destroyed. So someone's sitting on every hero and villain file, from what we can tell from what Duncan and Defrag found. That they've been just sort of slowly leaking onto the dark web to nascent supervillains This is bad news.
So what can we do about it?
I'm going to have a conference call with the higher ups, and I'll be back in about 20 minutes. And true to his word, he disappears apparently he actually has a room here. He mostly sleeps in the conference room in his basket, but he has a room here in the mansion. And when he comes back, he's like, well, after Defrag and Duncan forwarded all the files, they have a lot of interest in us and they really want us to pursue this. Now, it'll take us away from our patrol area, but there's thankfully a lot of hero teams on the East Coast. It's why we don't have much of a presence here. Besides, he points to the table, and they're all of you, us. Most of the Crusaders of Justice business takes place in the West Coast and Midwest, and of course the West. So we won't be leaving the place undefended, which is good. It will be dragging us across country, which is, I don't know, it depends on your opinion of the desert.
I think I was talking about Tremors last night. Have y'all seen Tremors?
Oh my God, iconic. I love it.
That is
Yes.
the
Fitting
one about
in.
the giant worms underground.
You Bubblegum, you find yourself with maybe 10 new phone numbers on your phone. You can prune them out of as you like. It just looks like people that you kind of like briefly connected with while you were messed up. You know how you just accrue phone numbers while you're drunk and you know who the fuck
Oh
they are?
yeah.
Yeah. So like you can prune through those or whatever, but it's basically Adam says they said since we took the lead, they want us to investigate. They're kind of excited not excited. This is a tragedy. Silver Streak's one of my good friends. This is kind of fucked, to be honest with you.
Yes, to go after a super's family is just despicable.
Yes, and I'm afraid it might not be the ending of it. So I don't know. If you got family, he looks at the four of you. Is like, warn them, tell them to stay vigilant, and if you really want extra protection, let me know. The ops team is not just to help us; it's to help our families too. We can put guards out.
I am fortunate in that regard. There is no one on this planet that can find my family if they do not wish to be found.
Well, that's good. It's good news.
Yeah, that's lucky. Somebody please call mother and father and let them know.
Is that how you refer to your parents, mother and father?
Yes.
Okay.
That's awesome.
My butter.
How about you, Defrag? Do you have family or
both my parents died in a car wreck
Okay.
when I was young.
Oh, classic backstory for an RPG protagonist.
And a superhero protagonist. You know, he might.
Hey. Oh, yeah. Your Batman backstory.
Oh,
Not
yeah,
killed by a villain.
That's why he hates car manufacturers to this very day.
Mhm.
Was it because your powers manifested out of control and you created a giant wall of digitized hard light in front of the car?
Nope.
Oh.
It was just a
Firestone tires.
accident.
Firestone tire. That's fucked up.
Nothing special. It was just one of those things. Someone just ran a light and accidentally hit them.
T-bone
and I was actually in an accident too. I survived,
Oh.
but I was injured.
Is that where, like, are you a person with implants or things like that? Like, I'm not really certain. Like, I haven't really pressed you guys on your origins or anything like that, or where your powers come from.
Yeah, actually, I will take my jacket off and you'll see, because you know that I've got the gauntlet on my left arm, and I will actually take my jacket off, and on the back, you actually see what looks like, almost like a hard case backpack kind of thing. It's kind of plasticky looking, and it's kind of got like a spine protector that goes down it. And I go, oh yeah, this is the seed. This is where Minerva pretty much stays.
It's a PS5.
So you're basically lashed to a supercomputer at all times.
Pretty much, yeah. It actually kind of is cybernetically implanted into my spine.
Gotcha.
What about you, Beaufortis? Is it Beaufortis?
That's close. It's
Well, Cephas.
Billquist.
Bilquist.
Photograph.
That was close.
And what about you, Bilquist, or any of your people on this planet aside from yourself?
God, I hope. I mean, no, I'm here alone.
All right.
We should put all of our security details in ensuring that Bubblegum's family is protected.
Adam
while we
nods
seek
and
this out.
Adam nods and points to Duncan. He's like, get those addresses fired up. Send some folks out. Keep constant eyes on them.
I think Mother's in Ibiza at the moment. And
Ibiza.
Father is some corporate retreat or other.
All right. You are a Trustafarian. That's what you are.
Oh, yeah.
A billionaire Bohemian.
All right. After that is done, Adam's like,
they're
well,
billionaires, not me.
we will stay in touch across your comms. I'm kind of stuck here. It's fine. Just if you need anything from me, points to Duncan, him, anybody else in the staff, that's fine.
So do we know where we're going?
He gives you
The desert. To the desert, everyone.
Are we going to where the actual site of the murders happened?
yes. He's like they want you to investigate the site first thing before we go any further.
And I can assume that we have thoroughly investigated the Wonder Wall. What was it?
The supercomputer.
Yeah, what was the supercomputer called again? Wonderwood?
Oh, Wondermind 6000.
Wondermind.
We have
Anyway, here's
thoroughly
Wondermind.
investigated the Wondermind.
Duncan says, I'm going to have Wondermind 5000 do a scan of itself. And hopefully that will come up with something. Wondermind 6000, no chance. Obliterated during the invasion.
And do we know what caused the obliteration? Was it the invasion itself, or was it an act of sabotage or willful destruction by a third party?
Well, Adam speaks up and says, well, we thought it was just the aliens sending down their fucking bombs and beams, but if somebody went to the trouble of snatching files, there might be more to it. So that's a mystery too. In the meantime, you're going to Ruby Mountain Wilderness National Park up there.
Find the closest electrical and our phone line where we need to go.
Okay. Let's see.
You gonna Matrix call us over there?
Yeah, I'm gonna do a big portal, cyber portal, and let us go.
Somebody has to answer the phone first, or
No, they do not have to do that.
All right.
that'd be a fun drawback for our power, though.
The portal opens up and everybody steps through into the hot Nevada sun, and we'll pick up there next time as you begin investigating a mysterious killing and begin tracking the murderous edgelord. Thanks for watching or listening, as it were, and make sure you click all our various links. We have a Patreon. I don't know. I'm having trouble with this lead out. Toker, help me.
So the thing about deep diving into Creed's discography is you really just have to give up.
Stop helping. Thanks.